Declutter Queen with Avery Kundle.
You may have landed here for several reasons or no reason at all. However, I am inclined to think that something about the word declutter caught your attention. Maybe it's because you have too much stuff and are looking for a way to have less stuff. Or maybe you are interested in creating a more streamlined way of living, where you can actually find your shit without having to go on a scavenger hunt. Or maybe you would just like to open your closet for once and not say, well, you know the word. Now, before you hit stop because you think that being organized means you have to color code your underwear or obsessively neatly fold all of your t-shirts in a straight line, on the contrary, decluttering does not need to include any of that. I want you to think of decluttering as a way to create more space in your life. Space in your closets, space in your drawers, and yes, even in the less tangible things. More space in your evenings and weekends? That sounds good. Tell me more. Well, perhaps a bit of background on me and how I came to love, yes, I said it, love decluttering. Decluttering and organizing has always been a passion of mine as far back as I can recall. I remember years ago going to a friend's house, and every time I walked in, I would have suggestions on how she could better manage clutter. Without a doubt, we would always end up in one of her rooms, standing in a pile of stuff, culling and organizing. We did this so often that years later, one of her kids said to me, "You know, I used to think you were an interior designer that my mom had hired." Now, you may be thinking, who wants a friend who comes over only to start decluttering and organizing? But to be honest, we always had fun and for sure would add a glass of wine to the mix.
How can decluttering be fun or a good time? Sounds awful if you ask me.
Well, I'm not going to lie. The work is big, but the rewards after, incredible. As we journey into decluttering, it is important for you to know that starting is not only the hardest part, but it can also be the scariest. The status quo can be easier than making changes in our lives, and this applies to the stuff in our worlds as well. We get used to having clutter, and we also sometimes get attached to our things for many reasons. There could be sentimental attachments to our stuff, which can cause us to think things like, how can I get rid of my child's grade 3 paper mache project? We could be operating from a place of fear. I can't get rid of the shirt because maybe one day I will want it, or maybe I'll fit into it. Trust me, you won't on both parts. These are just a few examples of why we may not want to get rid of our own personal clutter. And believe me, our stuff that no longer serves a purpose is by definition clutter. Okay, so here's where you may start to panic. Is she suggesting getting rid of all my worldly possessions? I promise you I'm not. But what I am 100% suggesting is that you find ways to get rid of things, here's that sentence again, that no longer serve you. When we are able to do that, we create space in our lives to invite in the new, space we need to grow, and also to be happy. As we move along, I want you to consider me your decluttering guide. Because let's face it, it's more fun to do these jobs with someone. So let me be that someone. This show is not a solo operation. The other person in the show is you. Along the way, we are going to have guests join us to share their decluttering experiences and ask questions about some of the decluttering challenges in their lives. You can request to be a part of the show at declutterqueen.ca. You can write us, record a question, or join us as a guest for tea on the show. So back to the beginning. I want you to pick one drawer in your home or office. Could be any drawer you would like. If you want to do this with me, along for the ride in real time, press pause until you have found your drawer. Make sure that you also have a garbage bag and some cleaning supplies handy, just to wipe out the drawer. Once you have chosen the drawer, I want you to completely empty that drawer onto the floor or counter. Press pause if you want to be in real time. Take the time to give the drawer a nice wipe down with your favorite cleaning product. Now, we are going to restock that drawer with the items, but with one objective. The number of items you put back in has to be less than the number you took out. You have to get rid of some stuff. This will take some deliberation, but ultimately, if you have no use for an item, or it's broken, or it's garbage, treat it as such. To the garbage or recycling bin it goes. Don't worry too much about how you put the remaining items back either. We will get to that down the line. Just cull and get a sense of removing that which no longer serves you. Still working? No problem. Take as long as you need. Once you have completed this exercise, I want you to take a moment to notice how this felt. Maybe even open the drawer, look at the items you have kept. Have you possibly found a few things that you had misplaced? You just may have gotten rid of some things that were taking up space in the drawer unnecessarily, and that can feel good. There are many reasons why you may feel happy after this simple exercise. You have started the process of creating space. Your journey has begun. Remember, one step at a time. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to the Declutter Queen with Avery Kundle. For more decluttering tips and tricks, go to thedeclutterqueen.ca.
Produced and distributed by the Sound Off Media Company.